an extremely gifted psychic medium who travels the nation and lives right here in the Midwest. And she offers mediumship, mentorship, house and business parties, energy healing, palm readings, and so much more. Refined Divine has helped thousands, and she can help you.
Hi, this is Psychic Medium Deb. I cannot wait to hear from you. You can go to refineddivinepsychic.com.
If you own a holistic or metaphysical business and are looking to expand, then you need to be listed on metamorphosisconnections.com. It's a network where you can grow with like-minded practitioners and reach new clients. Metamorphosisconnections.com is an online directory you need to list yourself and your business. Our platform makes it easy for you to create listings of your products and services, and you can also choose to list your classes, events, and so much more. Metamorphosisconnections.com helps you create weekly and monthly promotional ads targeted towards your potential clients and promotes them for you via social media and newsletter. There are clients searching for your specialty right now. Let us help them find you. Start your listing today so you can share your own unique gifts and talents by finding the level of membership that best fits your needs. Let us help you reach your clients that are searching for what you do. Visit metamorphosisconnections.com and sign up today.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 34. Then on Tuesday, partly sunny with a high of 52. For more than 40 years, the Great Wall Restaurant has been serving up Szechuan and Mandarin favorites. The Great Wall is located just north of 50th in France on the Minneapolis-Edina City line. Check them out at greatwallrestaurant.us.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host, guest, random reptoid, or chupacabra may not necessarily reflect those of AM 950 Radio, its affiliates, or its sponsors. Now, it's time to step into the unknown. There are things people experience but never talk about. A shadow moving in the corner, flickering of the lights, a disembodied voice. We invite you to talk with us. Share your story, share your experience, because this isn't just your story, this is our story. This is Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakken.
And this is Ghostbox Radio on AM 950, where every night we talk about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, and so much more. My name is Greg Bakken. Thank you very much for joining us on this Monday evening. Happy St. Patty's Day to everybody. What a great day, huh? Do I even need to say it? If you're out there having a good time tonight, please be careful. We want to make sure that you are back tomorrow listening to the podcast or just living your best life. That's the main thing. So just wanted to say that. And I say that because I remember, when I used to work at advertising agencies and those type of places, you might have had a drink or two. And certainly I might have worked at a advertising agency that was Irish influenced. And we would start drinking perhaps around 9 a.m. And we would go through the day, and then we'd go out as a group. And some nights, when that would happen, it would be like really, quite frankly, it would be like 2 a.m. And then you'd go sleep, get up the next morning and go in. It was showing how, how strong-willed you are, even no matter how hungover you were, to come in the next day. And that's just, it's silly. I do drink. I haven't stopped, but I don't drink nearly as much anymore, and partially because of those nights. I'm sorry. That was just, I'm glad I'm not doing it anymore. Tonight, though, we got some great stuff going on here tonight. I'm really excited about it, and been wanting to get my guest on for quite some time. Now, Debbie Romero is a globally recognized evidential psychic medium, paranormal investigator, energy worker, and empowerment teacher. Her unique blend of psychic abilities and healing energy has set her apart spiritually, garnering her international acclaim. With a profound connection to the spiritual realm, she has dedicated her life to helping others explore the mysteries of the unseen world. As an accomplished practitioner, Debbie's work transcends traditional boundaries, offering transformative experiences that empower individuals on their spiritual journeys. She is a sought-after guide for those seeking to understand and connect with the energies that shape our lives. Debbie's career as a psychic medium and paranormal investigator has allowed her to delve into the mysteries of the spiritual world. Not only that, it's her darn birthday today, too. Debbie Romero, welcome to Ghostbox Radio.
Oh, wow. It's awesome to be here. I'm so honored, Greg, to be here with you. And yeah, it's my birthday. And shout out to no more 2 a.m. Nights for you out there in those moments of St. Patty's Day.
Oh, my gosh. Absolutely. My gosh, that was those were the days. And I remember one time, this is too much information. It wasn't St. Patty's Day, but we had a big, and any kind of party always turned into some kind of drunken BS, right? And
Right.
We went out, and it was meant to be like a department party. It ended up being just like I got so wasted. I ended up going and staying at my friend's house. We took a cab back, and I'm not going to go into the gory details, but you can imagine kind of how that night went. And I was up all night being sick. And to the next, there was a assembly the next day, and I was, I literally came in the clothes that I wore yesterday because whatever, and sitting down, and the assembly happens, and talking with a coworker, and she just looks at me and she goes, "What's that on your shirt?" And I looked down, I'm like, "That's vomit." I mean, those days are really long gone, thankfully. Oh my gosh, just unbelievable. So no, that's kind of that's a lot. But we're not here to talk about my drunken stories, at least not
Oh, but I
tonight.
love it. I love it. Do tell me more.
Yeah, right. Who else wants to be grossed out here?
Not
But you know
grossed
what?
out.
It might actually stop some people from doing some drunken tomfoolery tonight. We don't want any. We don't want any of that. So I don't know. Did you celebrate St. Patty's Day at all in any possible way, or?
The closest I got to celebration was with my students who just went live. I have been resting, just chilling, keep staying in the PJs, just barely got ready in about maybe an hour ago. So today was chill, total chill day.
Nice.
Yeah. So my body's like, yeah.
About time, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you're doing a lot, and we over just about a month ago, I appeared on your program Transcend with Debbie, and that was wonderful. That was very, very wonderful. We talked to a lot of gifted mediums, a lot of great people on the program.
Yeah.
What is an evidential psychic medium?
Ooh, great question, Greg. An evidential medium, I feel it's just more of the title, right? Where mediums, we're able to be the link between our realm and the realm of spirit. We're able to perceive the energy in the way that spirit is being impressed upon us with all our senses, right? With great understanding to deliver that life is truly eternal with evidence, with proof, like without a doubt, yes, that is my father, my mother, or my brother, or my sister. And when that evidence comes forward, there's the energy and frequency and vibration that comes within our auric field and the energy of spirit world. We come together. So it's a beautiful blend of energy that comes forward when we're holding space for spirit.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I was mentioning, and I have to be careful when I say this stuff because as you well know better than I do, everybody has their own journey, they have their own path. And
Right.
let's talk about paranormal for a second. And
Yes.
there are a lot of people who, when they're doing a paranormal investigation, it's more about let's go into a location, and the where they're at is we're not sure if spirit really exists. We're not sure if
Right.
ghost exists, and that's what we're here for, is to determine that. But at the same time, folks like you and I and others will go in, and that part of it is out of the way, and we're at the point of how are you doing? We're at the or how can we help you, or whatever else. And that's the thing
Right.
that I find interesting, and I have to be very careful here because I have we have listeners here who are more scientific based, but
Yes.
I do feel a little bad for those who are at the stage that they're trying to prove the existence. Well, folks like you and I, we don't see it that way.
Right.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
I do actually. It's a great point, and I think a lot of us are, when we step into our awakening, we're trying to recognize psychic, residual versus mediumship. And so there was a case that I was on, and the residuals were definitely present. But what was the beauty in the process where I was, wait a minute,
Mhm.
here comes spirit. So then the spirit comes. So there is an opportunity, as you and I, we can bring the link for spirit world to talk about the circumstances of what we're tapping into. What we can feel is a residual when there's no presence of the energy of spirit. We can feel the residuals of what happened. Kind of like if you were going out and having a drink, we would have known, oh, Greg has been here. You left a residual, an imprint, a memory of your footsteps. Everything holds memory.
Right.
so everything that's left behind, energy never dies. It only changes its form. And so when we're someone like us who are sensitive, we can feel into the essence of what's left behind. And that's through whether it's psychometry or feeling into the energies and channeling through our psychic senses, right? Now, if spirit starts to come, so as I go upstairs, I literally saw the presence of his spirit and I knew, boom, spirit's here. So I knew I was working with an actual spirit. So we do start to see the difference when it comes to the machines and the equipment scientifically being proven. I was doing an investigation, it was an investigation, but it was also multiple things that I was doing as I was getting ready to clear the space with Reiki. The spirit box said, after I said, he's behind me. So I felt the presence of spirit on the right side of my body. And I said, wait a minute, the energy's moving. And so as I was saging and holding space for the energies to transition and change its form, the voice box says, he's behind you. Before I went up, spirit box says, be careful. And of course, I go back up and I said, let's go see what's up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
I love that you say that because there's a blend and a dance. But if we're patient enough, the essence of the spirit will come.
It's so layered, and I think it's layered even from those who are skeptic as whether spirit exists or not. And that is just something that I find that's something that actually really interests me now quite a bit. Now, Debbie, how long have you been been on paranormal investigations?
Great question, Greg. Actual investigation, this is what spirit told me today. Going into the field, going and really looking for spirit, 3 years. Now, as a Reiki practitioner, as many of us are, we are already feeling into the energies when we're doing house clearings and when we're going in and channeling and seeing when we're cleaning out the house. So we're already doing it, but for a different purpose, to feel and to channel, not to say, oh, this is what you have. It's very different with the equipment versus without the equipment, right? Yes. So for me, without the equipment, 3 years. With equipment, 3 years. Before the equipment, we'll say over 14, 15 years.
We won't get into too specifics, right, with numbers, and today's not a day about numbers, right?
Yeah.
So here's the thing, and where I was kind of getting at with this is I was curious if you had seen a shift in how people accept you as a medium on a paranormal investigation, because in my time of doing this, which is about, I would say about 15 years or so, when I got into this, there's a lot of people, not me, I hasten to add, a lot of people, a lot of teams who didn't know where the role of a medium belonged in a paranormal investigation. And I think that when they were seeing shows like Dead Files and programs like that I'm not the biggest fan of those type of shows, but I can't deny that it helped teams understand the value of a medium being a part of a team and being a part of the investigation, other than, do you feel anything over there? You know what I mean?
Right. I think it's important. The value for me walking into an investigation is so, I want to say, received with open arms and wholeheartedly they surrender to say, Debbie, what do you see? What do you feel? What are you getting? Right. As I stepped into an investigation, the last one, my husband actually helped me, which was so cool. And what was beautiful was we step in, I get my notepad, I have the clients in front of me. They basically tell me where the problem is. And I just sit down rather than walk through the whole house first. And then when I'm sitting there, I was asking questions. Okay, what are you feeling? What are you getting? And then I turn on the EVP recording. So I start the recording. So if spirit starts to speak, I let them speak with what during the whole time of the process. I had the ghost box going. And as I started to work through the energies, as you said, the layers, right?
Yep.
So then there comes in healing. Then their family comes, and then the people who lived in the home before them, and then the other people. So then we get to go in as the ghost box is talking to us at the same process. It's validating the name of who I have. So the ghost box actually, I said, wait, I have a Sam. And they said, Sam. And then when I leave the soul's like, wait a minute, you come back. I'm not done talking to you. So the ghost box, I'll come back. So she was still talking as I was already picking up the new soul stepping in. So it really helped. And then I said it helped because my husband had his iPad and he was able to pinpoint because she heard children. And I felt drowning in the area. And I thought, interesting, there's no pool here, but there was a creek or a flow of water. So he was able to find the location seconds as I'm connecting. So with the equipment, with the validation, and then having the future stories of what happened prior, it validates in such a different way because I'm in the flow, boom, validated in seconds. In another investigation, when I was in a closet, helping and this is interesting, we go back to when the story is shared and the soul ascends and it moves differently, right? We look at it as a soul needing to be rescued, or that soul rescue energy, right? The ghost box in a whole nother room, and he says, thank you, Christopher. And I'm like, okay, he's leaving. It's a child. He's going. He's saying thank you. Mm-hmm. And so him being in a different room, the team's hearing it. I'm in it. Validation. I'm allergic to cats.
What?
Can't go into. Yeah, allergic to cats. I'm like, I'm not going in there. Cats in there. And I was like, no. I'm like, there's old cats here. The little machine picks up the cats fighting. Yep, there you go, Greg.
There you go.
Oh my God. So yeah, it validates. I know where I'm walking into, and then the machine says it. And I said, I told you. I told you.
And that's the thing. And we got to take a break here in a second, but yeah. I think this is the current stage and state of paranormal investigation when we are collaborating with gifted mediums, is that, you know, for the longest time it was equipment and mediums, right? But what we see now, and I think it has to be this way, and we've done it on your show together. You've done it, you know, you talk about doing that with your husband, is that collaboration of the equipment and the medium to be able to validate each other, quite frankly.
Right. And you know what's also beautiful is that the family is open to receive, to hear, there's a healing process that comes with it. A validation, it's either their grandmother or their father. And then also hearing the stories of what happened prior validates what they were feeling. So it's also someone who's also awakening as a medium, as a sensitive. And now what do they do with that? Now that you're not going to move, you're going to learn about your gifts so that when this happens, you have understanding.
100%. Why don't we go ahead and do this? We got some questions in the audience. We're going to get to those when we get back. We have a lot more to talk about with evidential psychic medium Debbie Romero. It's her birthday. Make sure you say happy birthday to her as we continue. Don't go away. You're listening to Ghost Box Radio on AM 950. Greg Bakken here. I love historic tours of Minneapolis and seeing everything it has to offer. But if you know me, I like to include a little spooky in my tours, which is why I found the perfect combination. Minneapolis Trolley Tours does this amazing candlelight ghost tour that you have to check out. It's an extremely immersive experience. It's a trolley trip that starts out at a haunted mansion, traveling around Minneapolis locations exposing ghost stories that the public and business owners would rather left untold. Then a tour of the aforementioned haunted mansion where ghosts of past residents from the 1800s reside, plus a lot of surprises to discover. Next, experience Gertrude's After Hours. Did I mention Gertrude is the mansion's most famous ghost? Maybe she'll show up. And you finish up the tour at Gertrude's Lounge in the haunted basement of the mansion with refreshments and Q&A. The trolleys are climate controlled and the mansion is restored to perfection. Check out MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com for more information. Greg Bakken here. I've told you about the out-of-the-world roast beef sandwiches at Maverick's Real Roast Beef, but I haven't told you about their Philly steak sandwiches, turkey bacon avocado sandwich, BLT, crispy chicken, fish sandwiches, brisket, or pulled pork. Okay, you get the idea. They make a lot of delicious food to the same standard as their famous roast beef sandwiches, and now I'm starving. I'm going to go to Maverick's Real Roast Beef off Lexington and Roseville, and you need to go too. Check out their menu at mavericksbeef.com. Have you ever met someone who not only can help you on a deep spiritual level, but also potentially change your life? Refined Divine is an extremely gifted psychic medium who travels the nation and lives right here in the Midwest. And she offers mediumship, mentorship, house and business parties, energy healing, palm readings, and so much more. Refined Divine has helped thousands, and she can help you.
Hi, this is Psychic Medium Deb. I cannot wait to hear from you. You can go to refinedivinepsychic.com.
Join us on Thursday, March 20th for a special live 2-hour Ghostbox radio event starting at the special time of 9 p.m. Travis Walton was abducted by aliens November 5th, 1975, and wrote about his experience in his book, The Walton Experience.
I felt like I was dying, and this is what really fueled the panic when I finally laid eyes on these creatures. They came around the table, and the three of them were coming towards me, and I just grabbed something from behind me and started swinging it at them.
The book was later made into the 1993 film Fire in the Sky. Travis Walton, along with Jennifer Stein, director of the film, Travis Walton the Movie, will join me for this special 2-hour live interview along with questions from callers. Join us for the live Travis Walton Ghostbox Radio 2-hour special, Thursday, March 20th at the special time of 9 p.m. And if you are watching us tonight on Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakken on Facebook, I would like to ask a favor. If you possible, could you please send me some stars? Support the page. The more people send stars, the more the algorithms tell Facebook that my show and my page is worth taking a look at. So if you're listening and watching on Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakken on Facebook, please consider sending some stars my way. I would greatly appreciate it. I always love the fact that Courtney in the comments there, she is always saying when we play the Mavericks commercial that she's like, it makes me so hungry. My God, I'll tell you. Going out there, and I'm going to go out there either this week or next week. It's been probably about 2 months since I've had one of their sandwiches. It is absolutely incredible. And I just, you ever eat something and you're just like you gotta have it. You gotta have it. That's Mavericks. And I just really absolutely love it. And I'm hungry because, and this isn't about Greg being sad, Greg moment here. And it's not about me, wearing vomit on me or anything either. This is more about the fact that I've been, unlike our dear birthday girl, Debbie, who had a chill day.
Yeah.
I worked and then I had to teach class. And then, of course, the highlight is being here. So I haven't had a chance to eat yet. So, I know, right? Sad Greg moment. But this is what I do for all of you is I try to, keeping a stiff upper lip and keep moving forward is how I look at it. So, do you get any birthday cake today?
My husband made me a chocolate cake, Greg.
Oh my God.
I know, with sprinkles. I got sprinkles. I haven't ate it yet, though. It's sitting down there. Just like you, I, too, have not had dinner. And so look at us. Spirit first.
Now, do you eat meat or do you not?
Yeah. I do. I have a pretty clean diet. I'm really high protein. So not too much meat, just because it's not easy. My
Special
body
occasion.
changes. Well, my body has changed. The more work we do, it just has a harder time with energy of what we're eating. I can feel the energy of what I'm eating. Isn't that weird?
And here's the thing, right? Is Mavericks is this wonderful roast beef sandwich. No one's gonna have a roast beef sandwich every day. Well, I would, but it's a nice little treat every once in a while, and it's that's good stuff. So yeah, if you and your hubby ever come over to Minnesota, we'll take you over to Mavericks.
Okay.
We'll get it figured out. Lynn asked the question, very serious question. Can you have Mavericks deliver? If I could, wouldn't you think I'd have it delivered to my house?
Oh, that's my girl Lynn. Now Lynn, she's got special skills. She goes and does readings blindfolded, and she works through the numbers. She's got skills. So Lynn, I would say Google, what was it? Uber Eats.
Uber Eats, yeah, absolutely.
Uber Eats,
Well,
girl. They got you.
there's only one Mavericks. Here, do you want to take some questions
Sure, I would love to.
from our friends in the audience? And thank you all very much. And a lot of birthday wishes. I remember not getting nearly as many when it was my birthday. I did the show, but that's okay. It's not a competition tonight.
No, I was up front and center. Happy birthday, Greg. What's up, Greg? It's your birthday, Greg.
Isn't that the sign of someone who is very has very low self-esteem, that has to bring up his birthday from 3-4 months ago and trying to get sympathy for it? But hey, that's what it's about. So
I have some tea for you, Greg.
oh my gosh, I have a Mountain Dew. I needed something, so I got myself a Mountain Dew. There's so many people wishing you a happy birthday. I can't find the damn questions. Okay.
Happy birthday.
Okay, here we go. I got
Here we
Savannah. Savannah here. She says, "Can you share why the spirits are always behind us?"
Ooh. So it just depends on how we all work, right? I love that question. And what do you mean behind you? What are you feeling? Is it a gentleman that you're feeling? Who are you feeling? Tell me more about this spirit. For me, I received it on my right side. So spirit is all around me. So for me, I can see them coming in all areas. So if your awareness is to the right, then that's the way that spirit is working for you, and behind. So it's just the way you're receiving the energy and perceiving the energy.
Very cool. Very cool. Wade has a question, and he says, "This may sound a typical Wade question. Do you think the extraterrestrials have a paranormal knowledge in their detention?"
Ooh, that's an interesting question, right? So if we're going to go to extraterrestrial energy here, and we attune to the minds of spirit, right? The intelligence is what we're going into, that depth of it. So it's interesting, because I feel it's up to your mind and your detention, if we bring it back to what you're able to process, not so much them, because how we're receiving it, how we perceive it. Does that make sense? Is this the sense that I'm getting?
Absolutely. And here's the thing, and I this has been my soapbox lately, and I think Wade probably knows where I'm going here, that I find that how, as a paranormal investigator, and I don't necessarily mean one that has the abilities for for mediumship, but anyone goes in and they're getting some sort of recordings, evidence, voices, whatever else. How much of that do you think we're mistaking for spirit, when in fact it might be extraterrestrial?
I feel that we can go in from one realm to the next realm, and it really sometimes it's like they won't show themselves on who we're talking to. So we can be talking to the extraterrestrial, we can be in that higher intelligence of connection. I have seen it switch from ancestral to the angelic realm, and switch to the intelligence down to the teachings of it. So depending on how open you are and how you can see the shifts of the energies of the presence, then, based on the way our brain tries to make sense of it, everyone is very different, Right. So I just absolutely love it when they do come in, and when they are holding space for that link. It's so intense. The energy comes in such an amplified way, and there's so much more that comes in quicker.
Do you think then that means that if my thing lately has been trying to reach out to alien, reach out to Bigfoot, and you think that I am diminishing possibly a little bit, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but my shift has been towards extraterrestrials. My energy, my interest has been shifted towards extraterrestrial. Does that mean that I get less spirit communication because
No.
I'm personally shifting?
No, okay, let me go back to that. So spirit is spirit. So no matter what spirit,
Right.
we're always in the oneness. Okay. So
Yeah.
we're always connected in my belief and my perception to spirit world, no matter what. Now your energetic field, your awareness, attention goes where energy goes. Right. And so this goes back to, some of us in journeys through our ways of awakening. We go from, oh, I have an ascended master. Oh, I have an angel here. I have an ancestral here. We're being awakened to the different levels of what catches our attention based on what we need, right?
Yep.
Now, for you, your interest is Bigfoot. So you're attuning, you're studying, your energy is being pulled. There's a magnetic pull, and then there's the interest, and then that link grows. So that link between you and that frequency, that vibration, has amplified to allow you to have that awareness. If it's not in your awareness, then he may have walked right in front of you. You would have never known, because it's not something that your awareness is looking for. Just like spirit, when they give us a coin or they give us a feather or they give us some type of symbolic connection, we're always missing it because it's not always there.
And I think that's what I mean. You know, it doesn't. I guess when I mean diminish, I don't mean that they're going to go away. That I'm just going to start missing maybe some stuff.
Yeah, it can happen, but doesn't mean that we don't receive, because everything is energy. So we're around frequency, we're around the vibration. Our auric field is getting the imprints of what we need. So at the end of the day, we're still being attuned to the frequency and vibration of everything.
Absolutely. Wade says, first of all, great answer. Thanks. He really appreciated your answer.
Thank you, Wade.
To that. Let's see here. Lynn had a question I wanted to get to here. Where is it? Okay. Lynn says, I used GhostTube app in a haunted B&B last week. Lots of comments. But tell us how a ghost box works, please.
Ooh, go ahead, Greg.
You turn it on. No. Okay. So...
You turn it on. You say hello. Somebody here.
What do I look like over here, mad scientist? I don't know how this stuff works. So basically, the way I've always taken it is that Spirit Box, basically, first of all, it's a radio. At the end of the day, it's a radio, and it disables the ability when you're in a car or using just a little radio. You could used to hit like the seek button and it will go and it'll stop at a station. When there's no stations, it'll stop at the next station, and then you could hit it again. And it will seek until it gets to the next station. Well, a Spirit Box disables that, so it's not going to stop at any stations. It's going to go from one end of an FM or AM dial to the other, backwards or forwards. And so you have that now, like the Spirit Box that Debbie had there. It's an SB7T, and what that is is that it's a mass-produced Spirit Box created by Gary Galka, and he designed it. So basically, when you are around, and he's always said you actually should have the antenna up in the Spirit Box, because what you actually do want are those radio frequencies coming through. A big misnomer, at least in my area, growing up. What am I talking about? When I was, starting off in the paranormal, a lot of people are telling me, oh, you can't have the antenna up because you're going to get radio interference. Gary tells us we want that radio interference because that's what spirit gloms onto. That's the energy, and that's how they talk to us. And so that's the whole point, is using that as a way to attract spirit to talk to us. Now, there's two school of thoughts, I think, about how spirit responds to us. Spirit Box, they use the energy and they can talk to us in their voice. But I also believe that they can manipulate the radio, not so much make it say, but it's the right timing. So something will come through that is the radio, but it actually resonates with you. Mm-hmm. And that's more controversial, because people are going to be like, well, that's just coincidence. But we all know there is no such things as coincidence. So.
Right. I want to say something to that, Greg.
Please do.
the energy.
I mean, after all, you're the guest, and I've just been talking.
Well,
for 45
no,
minutes.
babe, I absolutely love how you broke that down. But for me, when you said that, you just ignited me with the thought of this mediums as channelers. We are channeling based and influenced by spirit.
Yes.
So there is an influence and also manipulation of energies is real, based on our own energy and the energies of spirit. So what you're saying with the ghost, with the machine itself, also happens to us as vessels, as conduits.
Yes.
So if you don't train yourself to hold the link, to know the shift of when it shifts from one spirit to the next, you're going to also be bringing multiple messages in, and sometimes you don't know who the messenger is. And so that's the influence and the shift of how we work, even as individuals.
And one of the things too that I would presume is similar to what you're doing when you're using Spirit Box is that I'm actually calling forward the spirits I want to talk to, and that's something that I had been practicing for a number of years now. You know, starting off, you know, you'd go into a location, be like, is there somebody here, hoping to get an answer, and you can still do that, but you're going into a location and be like, you know what, I want Mary Todd Lincoln to come through and answer, and I'm making that happen. Doesn't mean that she is forced to answer, but I'm beckoning her to come to me, and that's what we do when we're doing the Spirit Box sessions, where I'm bringing forth loved ones, and when you're bringing forth loved ones.
Right. I think it's important to honor the energies that step forward. That's honoring the natural story of it being unfolded, right? And so the intent for me when I step in, someone asked, how do I start my investigation? Before I go, I actually attune to the property.
Mm-hmm.
So not only am I attuning to the spirit world, but I'm also attuning to the energies of the land. And so then when I go into the land, I'm making sure that my energies are blending with the address of where I'm going to, so that my attention is there. But even though I'm pulling up from the other areas, I'm also making sure that my energy is connecting to who the intelligence of the minds of spirits of who wish to share their story.
Absolutely, because there is so much more than just turning on the equipment and being in the building, being on the floor. That's the thing that I think that is maybe not everyone understands is that there is a lot of holding space to actually do the investigation, to make sure that, you know, not only you're, like you said, honoring the energy, but you're also keeping yourself safe as well.
Right. And so I know you and we had personal talks before, and before we even get to the event, I'm already feeling the energies. You know, we could be driving through it. You're feeling again the residuals of what's happening before you even get there. The spirit, there's already like a connection made. Once the appointment's made, they know they're coming.
Absolutely, yeah, very much so. It's so much more than turning on the devices, but it's so much more rewarding as well. Right. And I think that that's something that is always worth talking about. Now, Debbie, I want to take another break here.
Yeah.
I see that we have people asking more questions. We're going to get to that. We're just a lot to get to, and we're just kind of free forming here. And I love that very much. We're with the birthday girl, Debbie Romero.
Woo, woo, thank you.
Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Ghost Box Radio on AM 950. Greg Bakken here. I love historic tours of Minneapolis and seeing everything it has to offer. But if you know me, I like to include a little spooky in my tours, which is why I found the perfect combination. Minneapolis Trolley Tours does this amazing candlelight ghost tour that you have to check out. It's an extremely immersive experience. It's a trolley trip that starts out at a haunted mansion, traveling around Minneapolis locations exposing ghost stories that the public and business owners would rather left untold. Then a tour of the aforementioned haunted mansion where ghosts of past residents from the 1800s reside, plus a lot of surprises to discover. Next, experience Gertrude's After Hours. Did I mention Gertrude is the mansion's most famous ghost? Maybe she'll show up. And you finish up the tour at Gertrude's Lounge in the haunted basement of the mansion with refreshments and Q&A. The trolleys are climate controlled and the mansion is restored to perfection. Check out MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com for more information. Greg Bakken here. I've told you about the out-of-the-world roast beef sandwiches at Maverick's Real Roast Beef, but I haven't told you about their Philly steak sandwiches, turkey bacon avocado sandwich, BLT, crispy chicken, fish sandwiches, brisket, or pulled pork. Okay, you get the idea. They make a lot of delicious food to the same standard as their famous roast beef sandwiches and now I'm starving. I'm going to go to Maverick's Real Roast Beef off Lexington and Roseville, and you need to go too. Check out their menu at mavericksbeef.com. Have you ever met someone who not only can help you on a deep spiritual level, but also potentially change your life? Refined Divine is an extremely gifted psychic medium who travels the nation and lives right here in the Midwest. And she offers mediumship, mentorship, house and business parties, energy healing, palm readings, and so much more. Refined Divine has helped thousands, and she can help you.
Hi, this is Psychic Medium Deb. I cannot wait to hear from you. You can go to refinedivinepsychic.com.
Join us on Thursday, March 20th for a special live 2-hour Ghostbox radio event starting at the special time of 9 p.m. Travis Walton was abducted by aliens November 5th, 1975, and wrote about his experience in his book, The Walton Experience.
I felt like I was dying. And this is what really fueled the panic when I finally laid eyes on these creatures. They came around the table and the three of them were coming towards me. And I just grabbed something from behind me and started swinging it at them.
The book was later made into the 1993 film Fire in the Sky. Travis Walton, along with Jennifer Stein, director of the film, Travis Walton the Movie, will join me for this special 2-hour live interview along with questions from callers. Join us for the live Travis Walton Ghostbox Radio 2-hour special, Thursday, March 20th at the special time of 9 p.m. And join me tomorrow on Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakken, and we have quite the week. I mean, we start off this week with the birthday girl, Debbie Romero, and then tomorrow we're going to have on author Kenny W. Irish, and we're going to be talking about his book, American Monster Hunters. And then Wednesday, we see the return of psychic medium Refined Divine Deb as we do one-question readings, which is going to be a lot of fun. Thursday, I don't know if you heard about this because we haven't talked about it a whole lot. Thursday, every break it's on like 5 times. We're really excited. We hope people tune in or not get turned off by the amount of times that we've been promoting it. Thursday is Alien Abduction Day, and we are doing a special 2-hour Ghostbox Radio, a special start time of 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we have a special guest, Travis Walton. You might know the film that was inspired by his experience, Fire in the Sky from 1993. And Jennifer Stein is going to join us. She was the director of the film Travis Walton, the movie. It's going to be pretty incredible. It is a 2-hour episode starting at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And of course, Friday, we have Casual Friday. But once again, we are finishing up this program tonight with the one and only birthday girl, Debbie Romero. And, thank you so much for being with us tonight. It's been a lot of fun. It goes by pretty quick, doesn't it?
It does. I'm honored. What a great lineup you have. You are a busy man, Greg. That is for sure. It's
a lot. It's a lot of fun. That's for sure. And I've been really enjoying doing these. Now I got some questions here that I want to figure out here who's talking where. Give me one quick second here as I scroll up. Once again, there's so many people wishing you a happy birthday that it's really kind of hard to get them all. Okay, so Chuck asked the question, how does Debbie conduct her investigations? Does she need certain atmospheres to be present to be present in it?
Well, I think for me, I've been fortunate to have mostly within my area. I haven't really gone outside of. I'm from California, by the way. I think one that was different was the cemetery for me. And going into the cemetery, it was really hot, so I had to prepare for the heat. But how I conduct my investigations, no. Certain atmospheres to be present, no. For me, spirit is going to come no matter what. But it's just a matter of how comfortable I am as an individual. Am I comfortable? Yeah. So for me, I just have to make sure I'm cool.
And I mean, is there? I mean, obviously, no one wants to get into dark energies or stuff like that. But sometimes, do you need to be a part of something like that because they need your help?
I don't have a problem going into the darker energies. I've dealt with them before, and it was really. We all do. It's a physical. Depending on what you're touching into, right? The layers of it. So there's different traumatic events that happen within the properties, and there are some energies that are influenced, and the darker forces can come present itself forward. I'm able to sit in that. I'm not bothered by that. The energies move and they shift because we are the light. And because we are the light, spirit does come with us to bring order. And when you roll with God and spirit, and you're in that form of light of purpose for spirit to work for them, the energy comes in the way that it needs to. So I'm not afraid to sit in that and while the energies move. But can it get thick and heavy? Oh my gosh. I'll
Right.
tell you this. If you keep a medium beyond 4 or 5 hours at your home, be considerate to give them a break. We have filters, we have portals and vortexes. You're having us touch into mucky residue of energies, especially when they're older properties. For me, I had to take breaks sometimes when I was on a project that was beyond more than I should have done. And you're not going to get anything good. By then, it's going to be garbage. And I say garbage because then you're beyond filtered. You got to go clean. I don't mean to say it in that way, but you have to be mindful of the energies. Energy is energy, and we can get clogged energetically with too much coming at us at one time, especially when it's heavy. I'll do the violet flame. I'll go in, take a break, go do the violet flame, take a walk, go out again, come back in. One project, I was there beyond more than 9 hours, and I was like, I'm done. Take me to the problem first.
Yeah, no, and that makes a lot of sense. I mean, that seems to be, you'd think that's a no-brainer, but it sounds like not necessarily, right?
Right. Someone didn't get the memo. I was like, that's not nice. Where did that come from? But then back to the darker energies, when you're really the darker energies, it can affect an individual. So if you imagine living in that and what they're feeling, if I'm feeling it just in hours.
Yeah, no. So I got some more questions here for you, and makes my job very easy. Aiden asked the question: in what ways is working in mediumship with a paranormal investigation different than working in readings, demonstrations?
Aiden. I know Aiden. First and foremost, thank you for being here. He's in Texas, so he's beyond his time zone, right? First, for me, Aiden, it's always spirit. You're going to be spirit-led, so you're going to trust what spirit takes you to as a medium. When it comes to paranormal investigation, the difference is you're going to be channeling into the properties. So you're going to focus on the house. And so you're going to ask spirit to attune you to the properties and also to the problem. If there's a fear factor, if there's residuals of energy that continue, you want to be taken again directly to that place of where the energies are having the problem. You want to feel into the energies. You want a notepad of when it's happening, the time of when it's happening, the questions you're going to ask is, why is this happening? Who could it be? And then, of course, is it the energies of the client that's creating the frequency and the vibration of the shifts for the paranormal activity? Because a lot of times we also play a role in the factor of the energies, not just spirit. So you're going to determine what is happening within the home. Is it the family circumstances, dynamics, or is it truly spirit?
That makes a lot of sense. That's a great answer and a good question as well. Wade asked the question, or has more of the comment. A lot of our teachings we get in the astral projection realms are most times vibrational, not in English per se. The frequency of the lesson is understood in the soul and acoustic record.
Right.
It has never misunderstood, as the truth is resonated into our soul.
I agree. And I think this goes not just to the teachings of the astral projection of, we'll say, the higher intelligence. I feel this is with everything in energy. Energy is a language of attunement of who we are. It's part of our existence. Whether it has a word to it, it's a frequency and a vibration. And when that happens, we're receiving no matter what. So we're constantly, those fiber optic wires, the antennas that are receiving the receptors. And so what we're in, we are definitely downloading all the time. It's up to us to determine at what level.
And that's a good reminder that we're in control. I mean, and I think that's something, and I think that applies to a couple different things. First of all, Joshua says 3 hours is my breaking point. You talked about and that's just another example. Across the board, we're in control, and sometimes I think we forget that when we work.
I think too, when we work, we do have the ability to step away, but when I'm gonna look at it in a different way, because spirit comes to us already before the project. So it's like a team effort, right? We're working, we say not yet, come back. So we do determine how we work with them, but when they really want our attention, they're gonna come. So at the end of the day, we may have those boundaries, but spirit, you got to work with that gatekeeper, if that gatekeeper, to monitor and moderate who comes in and who doesn't, and disturbs your peace, depending on how you choose to work as an individual.
Absolutely. And I think it's important to be able to understand that, but I think it's also, I think that's, especially if you're new starting, you haven't fully developed that's all that it's easy to get overwhelmed very quickly.
I think that happens to a lot of us, right? When we're just overwhelmed with multiple souls popping in, and you can't decide who's who and wait a minute, one at a time. And so that's where you develop the muscle to work with one soul at a time, and take your time with that soul. Once a week, get to know them. What's their personality like? Is there a color? Is there a vibration that comes with them? Is there a scent? So you're really going to start using all your clairs to determine just the one individual before you start working with the second. And you say an invited teaching guide to step forward with you, to help you, a paranormal teacher in spirit world. There are teams that are out there in spirit that are just waiting to step in to help you with these type of questions or teachings.
That's great. Now, Lynn asked the question. I think it's a great question. Could you expound about gatekeepers, please?
So we have our auric field, the electromagnetic field. There's a place where the vacuum, where we receive the energy from the top of, we'll say, out the outer of our auric field, right? And so if we're looking at that, we can place our gatekeeper. For me, I personally use my mother. My mother is in spirit, and so my mother is my gatekeeper. When energy comes in, I don't want to be bothered. I literally will feel the light of energy shield around me. And so for me, it's just about just energy, not to be disturbed. I love her frequency and her closeness with me when that happens. And so the gatekeeper is someone who pretty much lets people in and out, and how many. They control of who comes in between your link and spirit, Lynn. And so some people even call him a doorkeeper. And so this person you can assign as an angelic being. A lot of people use Michael Archangel. You can use anyone that comes to your awareness. I attune my students to their gatekeepers. And when we attune ourselves to that energy, it's up to you to determine how you want to work with that gatekeeper. That's your buddy. Like for me, when I first started, I'm a big football family here. And so my team, they used to come in and they would show me the defense, like back it up, defense, back it up. Sure. So what is your imagination going to create that's going to be a sense of like order? So it's between you, your mind, and spirit, and how you want to develop that link and protection for self.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're getting a lot of people in the comments right now who is really excited that you're talking about gatekeepers, and that, and it's stuff that I appreciate when people are just like, hey, can you break this down? Because there are a lot of concepts here that don't always get talked about. And, a reason why we bring you on, the reason why you do want to do this is because you want to be able to share information and get good information out so people can learn.
Exactly. And I love, like Courtney says, give them hours. So, you can literally have as simple as a light switch. Just, okay, I'm closed. Even the windows, some people have spirit knocking at the door waiting. Like when you first start, you can literally have a line of people before they come, and you could just put a closed sign at your door. I'm closed, bro. Like have a spirit sign, closed for the day, so it's the rhythm of intent that you create between you and the spirit world. What you're willing to do, set time aside, find a sacred space if you feel that you need one, a couch, a chair that you sit in, develop a routine where you say, okay, I want to work with you today. And give them like, hey, you're the director, give the rules. What's up? This is what I'm doing today. And come back on Monday. We'll do chat again and get the report of how I did the week,
Now, Wade is asking the question, are gatekeepers the same as spiritual protections?
I love my gatekeeper as my protection. Yes, Wade, great question. People use protection and gatekeeper as two separate. Gatekeepers usually help moderate how many people can come at one time. So let's say I have your father, your mother, your sister, your brother, and they all come together and it's a big old party, because I feel like in your home, you guys all have like a whole family gathering, but in the island of the table of your kitchen, not so much your actual kitchen table, right? So with me as a medium coming in, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, you're all coming in way too many of you. I just want the dad first, so that Wade knows dad is here. Then the mom can come in, so my gatekeeper will moderate that, right? Protection. What are you looking for protection for? Is it to protect your auric field? What is it that you're looking for protection? So it depends on what is this protection that's needed, right? When it comes into the energy field of the aura, my gatekeeper protects me, silhouettes over me. That's my mother. The energy of spirit. For me, I'm very, very mindful of my auric field. I'm very mindful of my energy, and that I protect with essential oils, or whether it's like using coconut oil, I'll use that for myself in protection. But protection, there's always protection, but why and for what purpose?
Now we are rapidly running out of time, which is just goes to show how fast this hour runs. How could people watch Transcend with Debbie?
Oh, DebbieRomero.com. That's it. Podcasts up there. All the shows are on there. Just follow me under Debbie Romero.
That's it. Normally when I ask this question to people, this is when they really start talking for, like, they start the 5-minute spiel when I have a minute left. So I was expecting you to just like really just have a lot of information there, but you don't. Now, same there as well. If you offer services there, you also offer classes, right?
I do offer mentorships. You find me on Instagram. Most of my pop-ups, when I do pop-ups, I do meditations. And I always look at it this way. If you didn't see it in the beginning, right? Then if it comes around again and you say, hey, I want to try it, then you get brought in, and then we invite you to the group. When you're talking about the darker energies of the darker forces, Wade, it's really important to strengthen the mind, to protect the brain. So when you're looking at for protection, when it comes to the darker influences, I would say learn to protect the mind. How do you shield the brain? Because we're connecting from mind to mind, so that it sounds like you're really out there into the intelligence of the higher beings of spirit world.
Now, as we're wrapping up here, go to transcendwithdebbie.com. You can find out everything you want there. And do you have a Transcend with Debbie Facebook page?
I do. I have Transcend with Debbie in the Facebook group. It's private. So send a request.
That's fantastic. Everyone, go like her page. Go check out her website. We'll be back tomorrow with Kenny W. Irish talking about American Monster Hunters. Everyone, have a fantastic night.
Much love.